Good evening. Welcome to Sierra Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to our Thanksgiving Eve service. I'm going to start us with an opening affirmative prayer. So I invite you just to go within, and in whatever manner you pray, join me. As I know that there is one infinite ever-presence, one source, one substance, one life, one love, one peace, one power, present everywhere, in, through, and as its creation. And so I know that all life is that in form. And so I simply speak a word knowing that this is a time of the divine celebrating itself, journeying into a new experience of itself, an experience of gratitude for itself, with itself, by itself. And so I simply call this time good, superb, excellent, grateful. And I let that be the experience. And so it is. And so before we get started with our music, we're going to do our candlelighting service that we do on Sunday mornings. I am Reverend Rafe Ellis. I am honored to be the senior minister here, and Deborah's going to come join me. We do an inclusion candlelighting ritual, and we light these candles to celebrate the unity of all people, all faiths, all beings, all life. And tonight we do it in gratitude. We light the first candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring and expressing gratitude for the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples. We light the second candle in gratitude for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle in gratitude for Taoism, honoring the path of ultimate reality, the natural way. We light the fourth candle in gratitude for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle in gratitude for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the middle way and path of compassion. We light the sixth candle in gratitude for all forms of Christianity, honoring the teachings of Jesus as the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within. We light the seventh candle in gratitude for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle in gratitude for the religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle in gratitude for all forms of New Thought teachings, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles of love and law. And we light the 10th candle in gratitude for absolute inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome and celebrated here. And we light this final candle in gratitude, honoring the infinity of oneness as all creation, seen and unseen. Now I'm going to turn it over to our musicians for a couple of gratitude songs. The first one we will be singing is Thank You for This Day. And the second one, God is My Source, and gratitude for Karen Drucker and her work of bringing music to our movement. Here we go.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing day. Thank you for this place, Spirit. Thank you for this place. Thank you for this place. Thank you for this place. this beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful place. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful place. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Let's thank it for the earth. Thank you for the earth, Spirit. Thank you for the earth. Thank you for the earth, Spirit. Thank you for the earth. The bountiful, the bountiful, the bountiful earth. The bountiful, the bountiful, the bountiful earth. This healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing 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 day. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Yeah. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
All right. So this is a time I want to give folks here in the room, out there in YouTube and Zoom and Facebook land, an opportunity to share your gratitude. So if you're with us on Zoom, I have the Zoom chat window open here. And so if you have a gratitude you would like to express, just put that in the chat, and I will speak that into this sacred space for you. Deborah is monitoring the Facebook feed. So if you're joining us through Facebook and you have a gratitude you would like to share, you can put it there, and Deborah will get that into the room, and Juanita is monitoring the YouTube chat, and she will get that information over to us. We're getting this technology thing figured out, except when we don't. So I have one here in the Zoom chat. Mary Lou and Travis Lee, so grateful for the rains that have come and will continue to come. Thank you. Who else has one? We have a microphone here in the room if you have one you want to express. It's a simple flip of the switch. Anybody got one? Yeah, just speak it right into there.
Hi, this is Juanita. I just wanted, I think, are we not on, Reverend?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It's on.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of recognize, and I am grateful for the fact that I've been a part of the center for about 9 years and part of the music program for about that amount of time too. So very grateful to have that opportunity. And I've just had my 5-year anniversary of being on staff here at Sierra Center. So I'm so grateful to still be here through COVID and have the support of Rev Rafe, Rev Madeline, Rev Lanny, and the board. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Deborah can show you how to turn that rascal off. We have another one in the Zoom chat from Sandy. Grateful for my new home and the many new friends I have made. Thank you, Sandy. You got anybody over there on Facebook? Facebook is quiet. That's unusual. Are you there? All right. Gary Wade has another one in Zoom. This is where the folks are. We're in Zoom. Grateful for loving family to spend the holiday with. Awesome. Thank you, Gary. Who else has a gratitude they want to speak into the room? Yep. No, you're off for the moment to reduce background. There you go.
Hi, this is Jeff. I'm grateful to be on the planet. I had plenty of opportunity. I had a number of opportunities to leave, or to be. Anyway, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just glad for another, like that song said, for another day, and I'm looking forward to a whole bunch of more of them. I trust, but. Now is now. This day is this healing day, and I'm just glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. We have another one here in Zoom, Reverend Madeline. So grateful for knowing we are all so powerful and that we co-create with Spirit every day. Thank you. Anybody else? Going once.
Hi, this is Stephen. First, I want to thank the Academy. Okay, seriously though, I seriously need to thank everybody I've met through this community who has helped me break through the feeling of isolation, which is so toxic to us intertwined beings. And I was also just thinking this morning, like most mornings, that all I have to do is take one step out one door, and I'm just in this beautiful, lush forest that we have here in Nevada County. And I'm grateful that that is still thriving, protected from fires, and is available and welcoming for me to explore it. So, grateful for this day. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen. Okay, Zoom has gone quiet. One last, anybody on Facebook there, Deborah? Okay. So we're going to move on with our program. I just want to say I appreciate everyone speaking. Oh, you got one? All right. Come get the microphone.
Okay, we have a gratitude here on Facebook from Barbara Witt. She says, "Happy Thanksgiving, Rev Rafe, Deborah, and your church community. For all of the beautiful people in her life, she is grateful."
Awesome. Thank you.
Kathleen Medley says, "Grateful for being alive, surviving breast cancer, and now hiking, dancing, and loving and giving to others."
There we go.
Blessed
Now we're
be.
on a roll. Awesome. Thank you, Barbara Witt. Thank you, Kathleen.
All right, our beloved Dee, I see you. It's Dee, "Grateful to be with my grandbabies."
Ah, nice.
Ah, Valerie Costa, now they're popping in.
There we go.
"Here for a few while my soup simmers, I hear you just fine," she says. Grateful for that soup.
There you go. Awesome. So grateful for each of you. I'm grateful that we can have fun. I'm grateful that we can hold this thing called life lightly, especially in times where it just can be really inviting to be really heavy. I love this community, and I love what we are creating. I love what has been created and what we're moving into, even if we have no clue what that is yet. That's okay. So what is this thing called gratitude? All too often we attach it to an object, to an experience, and really gratitude is most accurately defined as the evidence of faith, the substance of things not seen but hoped for. Because gratitude is really the activity of law. And if we remember that what we think into the law manifests in form and in our experience. And so if we're really wanting to manifest the desires of our heart, perhaps we have to actually be grateful for it now before we see it or experience it. Because otherwise we're very subtly putting the belief in law of, I really want this, but I know I'm not going to get it. And so we don't. Because what the law is responding to is, I'm not going to get it. And the activity of the law simply says, oh, okay, you like the activity of having ideas and desires but not getting them. There you go. That's what you get, right? Because we're always the master of our own experience. And sometimes that is challenging. I think it is oftentimes the most challenging part of this teaching. Ernest Holmes says this in Richer Living. Faith acts like a law because it is a law. It is the law of spiritual mind in action. When we realize this, we no longer feel that we must have faith in ourselves as isolated human beings, but rather as human beings included in the great law of life. Then we can rest in complete confidence that our words are the presence and the power and the activity of Spirit in us, as us. All sense of making things happen, holding thoughts, or concentrating really hard of the mind are put aside. And with childlike acceptance, I think this is key here, folks. With childlike acceptance, we make known our request with thanksgiving. So think back to when you were little, right? There was no doubt that you were going to get exactly what you wanted, right? And the lack of doubt shows up when we get denied as a temper tantrum that says, oh no, you don't understand. I know you might be taller and older, but I'm in charge of my desire, and meet it now. So what if we held everything we desire in our heart with that same childlike knowing that convinced will not be denied? Now, I am not, because I know how some of you listen, I am not advocating you go through life throwing temper tantrums. So just stop it. I did not just give you permission to throw temper tantrums as if any of you needed permission. I know who you are, because I know who I am. Right? What I am saying is go back to that level of conviction that we had in the innocence of our youth, before we had all of the social conditioning that told us we aren't worthy, we don't deserve it, we're never going to get it, we got to work harder, blah, 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 blah. Kids don't have all that. They just have desire manifest. And that's really the way it works. I'm going to bring the Bible into this for just a minute. And it's a bit out of context, but it's a great analogy. In John chapter 20, it's actually talking about the resurrection of Yeshua, the person, Christ. And we get the phrase doubting Thomas from this section of the Bible, because Jesus in the story appears to the disciples, and they see him and know that he has risen from the dead. Thomas was not there. And so when the other disciples, the other apostles, tell Thomas that Jesus is no longer in the grave, he's risen from the dead, he's like, I do not believe you. I will believe it when I can put my fingers in, when I can touch the nail holes and put my hand in his side where the spear was. Then I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. Right? And so the journey goes on, and it takes about a week. And Thomas and the risen Christ have an experience. And he's like, okay, there you are. And he put his finger in the nail holes, and he put his hand in Jesus' side, and he said, I believe it because I can see it. And this was Jesus' response in the writing. Blessed are they who have not seen and still believe. See, it doesn't take any faith for me to know I'm holding a microphone. No faith is required for me to know there's a computer on the lectern. But there is a certain amount of faith required for the desires of my heart that I have yet to experience in the physical realm. That's faith. And if I really believe that the universe manifests the desires of my heart because its heart is my heart, and it manifests the desires of its own heart, that I am that informed, that you are that informed, then I have to believe it before I see it. When we believe more in what we don't see, we will see. That's the blessed. And just for reference, blessed literally means consecrated, made holy. Right? So consecrated, made holy are they who, not having seen, still believe. That's our journey. And so if we want something in people and situations, if we want a response in the world, we have to become that. We have to believe it so deeply that we embody it. If we want peace, be peace. If we want kindness, be kind. If we want equity, treat everyone equitable. If we want inclusion, and this is the one that I watch us struggle with the most, we want inclusion, and we're unwilling to be inclusive. So do we really want inclusion, or do we want our way? Do we want the right to exclude people that we've decided aren't worthy of inclusion? And when we're there, and we all get there sometimes, folks, we all do. All. It's because we're stuck in the form, we're stuck in the behavior. We have forgotten that everyone is a divine emanation of spirit and form. And we have confused ourselves with who they are by their behavior based on, instead of what they are, based on truth. Okay? And so our invitation in this time of pausing to remember being thankful is to really take a moment. And those of us that sometimes gather in very different rooms all over the place to save ourselves from, let's just say, separation and acute selfishness, because it comes in many, many forms. We have a program of 12 steps, and one of those is to take a fearless inventory. And so I invite you tonight, in this time of Thanksgiving, to gratefully, non-judgmentally, just take stock, just of the last year. Are you really believing the desires of your heart? Or are you in the, I want it, but I know I'm really not going to get it camp? Because it's a simple shift. It may not be an easy shift, but it's a simple shift. To shift our thinking to, it's already here. I don't have to see it to believe it. And to remind ourselves daily, when I believe it, I will see it. And to begin to live in gratitude even before it shows up in form. Be grateful for the partnership. Be grateful for the house. Be grateful for the job before you get it. And that will guarantee you get it. It may not show up exactly in the form. I chuckle because I cannot tell you how many people I have talked to who, in fashioning their idea of a relationship, failed to be specific enough about what they wanted a relationship with. And so they, want a relationship where I'm loved every day, where there's no conflict, where every time I come home, everything is wonderful and they're glad to see me, and they wind up with a puppy. And then they're confused because they're like, I didn't ask for a puppy. Well, you kind of did. Right? So take time to take stock of another story, and I'll begin to wrap up with this. Person wanted a red sports car. No matter how many times we talked about it, no matter how much encouragement there was to, well, what will that red sports car give you? I don't care. I just want a red sports car. Okay. And what will you feel when you have that red sports car? Happy, because I'll have my red sports car. So they finally manifested a red sports car. They went and picked it up, and they drove it home, and they parked it, and they turned off the key, and the engine blew. And so they had a red sports car. And it sat there for years because they didn't have the resources to repair it. Quite honestly, it needed a whole new engine. It was beyond repair, but they got exactly what they insisted on. And so, take it all the way through. Let the law figure out the form. Put in what your heart desires. If it desires to move freely about the planet, does it matter if it's red or green? Or does it matter that it runs? Right? If you want a relationship, what do you really want in that relationship? And start with what you're willing to bring to the relationship. Because you will only get what you're willing to bring. Because if you're not willing to bring it, you don't believe in it. Okay. Take stock. So we're going to shift into another song, Blessing to the World by Drucker. And after that, we're going to go into a brief meditation, an inward journey, to give you an opportunity to really sink into and get some clarity about what your heart is calling for. So you guys sit tight. I got to go turn your mics back on.
I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. Let's do that again. Get it in our heads here. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world, is a blessing to the world, is a blessing to the world.
And so I invite you just to go within. To allow everything that had your attention before this moment to simply slip away. It can be right there waiting for you when you're done. And allow yourself to breathe in deeply through your nose and out through your mouth with an audible sigh. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and fully exhaling. And allow yourself to go within, to imagine the voice of your heart. That there's a special someone you trust to speak through your heart. Imagine them. And just get comfortable sitting with them. For some of us, that might be the kitchen table. For some others, it might be around a campfire. Wherever you feel most comfortable being you. Breathing in and fully exhaling. And ask your heart, what is it that you desire? What is it that you desire? And just listen. Breathing in and fully exhaling, going a bit deeper. What will I experience when I become this desire? Breathing in and fully exhaling. Check in with yourself. Is there any sense of anxiety? Is there any argument about this desire? And if there is, simply ask, what belief is in my way? And just listen. So I invite you to have a conversation. If a doubt, if a resistance came up, I invite you to have this conversation with that belief. Thank you for showing up and revealing yourself. Now let's be clear. Ain't a word of truth in you. I am an intentional, purposeful, magnificent desire in the heart of the infinite. The essence of me is whole, perfect, and complete. The desires of my heart are my birthright. You as resistance have no power, no authority, no place here. Bye-bye. And breathing in, fully exhaling. Ask your heart again, what do you desire? Just listen. And if your thoughts wander to, I have no idea how that's going to happen, just know that's none of your business. Your business is the desire of your heart. Our business is the yes. It's the law's business. How? And so I invite you to look at that heart's desire and say, welcome home. Welcome home. Yes, I will receive you. I do receive you. I say yes. Allow that yes to transform into gratitude. Allow yourself to know at the very center of your being that that heart's desire is already done, already made manifest in you, as you, that the activity of law, even now, is putting everything in place, the divine perfect timing, the exact right materials and people and circumstances to bring that desire to fruition. It is done. It is done. The only thing that shows up as the idea of waiting is this human realm of time and space. The desire of your heart is already done. And so if you're here in the room with us, we have these cards that we invite you to put down what you're going to be grateful for all year, knowing that it is going to manifest in form by this time next year. And we will keep these in our prayer box, and they will be prayed on daily. And every time we're in this sanctuary, they will be energized. And it's a simple format, or you can write it however you want. I am grateful for fill in the blank, because, and what you expect to be experiencing, what you will be feeling, how you will be changed by the unfolding of the desire of your heart. If you're with us online, you have a couple of options. It may be something that you don't want to post for the whole world to see. I certainly understand that. If that's the case, you're welcome to send me an email. And just send that to Rafe, R-E-V-R-A-F-E, at sierracenter.org. And I will print those out and put them in an envelope. Please make sure you give me your mailing address so that next year, a couple of weeks before this time, I can mail these back to you. If you're on Zoom and you know how to use the private chat function, you're welcome to put it in the private chat. I will print it out from there and put it in one of the envelopes. And if you're good putting it out there for everybody to see, you're welcome to put it there on Facebook or on YouTube, and we will grab it and print it and put it in an envelope. If we already have your address, certainly no need, and please don't put your address on social media. Please don't do that. Your address, I'm not your father, I'm just saying, might not be a good idea. That was the daddy coming out in me. So we give you just a moment to do that. Yeah, what did I say? Oh. Rev Rafe at sierracenter.org. I'm glad other people listen, because sometimes I don't listen to myself. Folks are finishing those up. That's good. I did one of these before I started ministerial school. I had submitted my application, but hadn't yet started. And what I wrote on it was that I was complete with ministerial school with 0 debt. Now, the interesting part of that is it's a 3-year program, and in my human awareness, I was writing it for 1 year. Turned out I finished ministerial school in 2 years, and I finished debt-free. And I cannot, I've done spreadsheets trying to figure out where all the money came from. I can't find it. This is a miraculous thing, setting an intention and living in gratitude. Not living from the pretend as if, but living in the I know this is done place of gratitude. To own it, to become it, to embody it. It will transform you. And I will caveat it with this. There is no such thing as an idea too big in the mind of God. No such thing. Infinite. We are infinite possibility in form. So there's no such thing as an idea or a desire too big and none too small, because the divine doesn't even operate in big and little. It just operates in what is. That's a function of humanity so that we can function with one another. So Deborah and I can tell our clothes apart. I'm actually going to invite you to continue what you're doing while I invite Deborah to come and begin our closing out process. So you can finish up what you're doing immersed in prayer.
So grateful, so thankful for this time in pause together. This time in spiritual community, dwelling in the presence of love. So thankful to have awakened and rose from my bed this morning with the breath of life, and to care for my body temple as I prepare to make my way here to the center. So thankful for that spark that propels forward, that is propelling all of life forward. So I'm so thankful and grateful for each beloved that is present right here in this very room that chose to do the same, was able to do the same, and to arrive here with the intention of being in service and to gather together in this beautiful pause, in this beautiful space that we have created together. My heart is filled up with the tender mercy and the justice and the accountability that is pouring forth in all kinds of places in the world. And so it is from this place that I know that what is unseen is that has not been made manifest in form, or is in process of all of the components, all of the particulars that are gathering together in the universe to be made visible, to be made manifest. And so it is with our heart's desire that this beingness, this presence of the divine that lives and moves as each one knows the desires of our heart. And so from that place, I'm accepting that the patience and the continuing on in great faith with movement forward is the experience of my heart. And I know that I share this collectively with all of life. So I'm so blessed and thankful to be here this evening, to breathe, to be, to know what truly is happening back of all of life. And so from this time together, we can move with great certainty that there is a power and presence that is for all of its life, that it is creator and creation simultaneously. And so we just show it a good time. We just be who we be and know that all is truly well. So I release now into that alchemy of love and law, knowing that there is no waiting period, that it is done, And I just allow it to be so. And I anchor that now by saying, and so it is.
Thank you, Deborah. So this is our time of Thanksgiving, of intentional Thanksgiving. If you're joining us virtually, I invite you to pull up our webpage, www.sierracenter.org. If you have received, to give as freely as you have been given to. We are sustained by the giving of those who are committed to seeing this center continue. If you're here in the room and you have your intentions card completed, we're going to send this rascal around and you can put your love offering and your cards in here, and I will take care of them from there. So I'm going to actually, Deborah, can you grab this so I can take care of the musicians' microphones? I'm going to invite us to say our giving affirmation together. It's right there on the screen for those of you that are live streaming. I give this gift with love and joy from a consciousness of abundance. Divine love blesses and prospers all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Let's do that one more time. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you, and that I am grateful. Grateful that even though I can't see many of you, I can feel your presence. Thank you. Grateful for those of you who came out this evening. Thank you. And I just want to remind you that we will have these available here in the sanctuary all year from this point. So if you didn't get a chance to fill one out tonight and you still want to fill one out, whenever something comes up that you choose to live in gratitude, knowing that it's already done, regardless of its invisibility or visibility, you can fill one out and we will add it to the mix and then mail it back to you the week before Thanksgiving next year. Have a beautiful night. Have a beautiful time with your family. Namaste.